Good afternoon, everyone. This is Michael Sium for Erie International Sports. As you all know, Erie International Sports has been around for a long time, and now we are going strong to try and bring you the best sports stories, but also empower you through sports by engaging our community and our country, Eritrea, to become the best sporting nation from the world, from Africa. As you can see, we've had some very good success, and Air International Sports is trying to play some role in developing and helping and managing some of the things that we have not seen over the last few years. So, with that said, I want to start off saying to you that Air International Sports will start a weekly news update so that you understand what we're doing. We'll try to engage you more. And with that said, we're going to try to keep you abreast of what we've been doing. So, first, we're going to talk about the sports news that we have gathered for you for the past week. As you know, last weekend, we had a huge news that went viral, the signing of Lily Daniel Johannes. She's an amazing young woman, two brothers. We'll talk about the brothers later, but Lily just signed with Ajax of Amsterdam. As a 15-year-old, she's becoming one of the top players in Europe and in the world. It's an amazing feat. She grew up here, right here in the state of Virginia, where we are. And so with that said, Lily's opportunities are going to be very big going forward. She's a very talented player. We saw some of her highlight videos, and the girl can play some soccer or football, if you want to call it. Amazingly, her grandfather, may he rest in peace, a legend of Eritrean football. He played for Hamasin FC and also played with the Eritrean national, for the Ethiopian national team at the time, representing like many other Eritreans, including the likes of Ambassador Girma Smerom, Abrahar Aya, all those legendary players that we talk about played with him in 1968 in the African Nations Cup. He scored a very beautiful goal against the Ivory Coast and Laurent Capot. Laurent at the time was probably the best player to ever come out of Ivory Coast before Didier Drogba. And so with that said, Bochretzion did an amazing thing where Ethiopia at the time beat Ivory Coast 1-0, only to lose in the next round. But nonetheless, Eritrea was well represented in the African Nations Cup. What we talked about is Lily. Lily is the granddaughter of this legendary player who was also responsible for starting the Eritrean Sports Festival, as it's called now. It used to be called the Eritrean Soccer Tournament in the old days, right? Bochretzion was one of the people who started it, who helped started the event based in Dallas, and with many other Eritreans came together and started this great tradition of Eritrean sports during the summer times. So with that said, we have the story of Lily, and we're going to talk about Hermon Mikael. Hermon Mikael is a great tennis player who's been doing amazing things because we brought her into, through Area International Sports, we helped her get into Francis Marion University, and she ended up playing 2 years there, doing amazing things, and transferred to Davenport University in Michigan, where she's working on her master's and is doing great things over there as well as we speak. And so with that, we want to say, working on her master's, she won some great awards this year. Very successful season for her in her first year at Davenport. We'll have that story for you. We're also going to have another great story for you. This is a story of a man you probably haven't heard much about. His name is Jonathan Berhane. Jonathan was a great tennis player from Sweden all the way here. Of course, Eritrean parent. His dad, may he rest in peace, passed away about 2 years ago during COVID, and was a very active member of our Sweden Eritrean community. And Jonathan Berhane came here to Idaho to play tennis in college, ended up becoming successful, went to coaching. He coached in that school that he was at in Idaho for a smaller school, and then ended up getting a full-time job with a performance as a head coach at Western Kentucky University, where he led the Hilltoppers to some national championships. And that's not easy to be a coach at Division I at Western Kentucky, but he also got an offer after Western Kentucky as an assistant coach at the University of Alabama, where Alabama has a great tradition of women's tennis. Jonathan Berhane is now the new head coach at the University of Alabama, the first Eritrean head coach probably in tennis, or probably in a major university. And so with that said, we want to tell you the story of Jonathan Berhane. We're also going to have stories of Alexander Isak, who's been doing amazing things at Newcastle United. We're working with some other important people, but most of all, we're trying to build. So we ask for your support as we speak. We have a website, fundraise website that's been up for a while now. We need some support. Nobody really is not giving us much yet, but those who have, we thank you very much, and you know who you are. We really appreciate you. We also have set up a GoFundMe page, also for those who may not be able to use a fundraise page. So we have those two, and we're trying to make a goal of $30,000 to get this thing started, our nonprofit, and eventually we are going to build something of very important for our country, for our people, for our community around the world, in the diaspora and at home. And so, with that said, we ask for your support. So, we'll also be working with a company called Tie Dye, as you can see here. It's a brand that we're trying to build. We're trying to connect it to all our community, and we are able to provide some of the best quality uniforms and other needs that you may have in sports management and other things. We'll tell you more about that. However, we will give out some awards from Tie Dye, but we need your support. We need your support. So let's make the goal happen. We haven't come out and openly spoken to everybody, but this is very important to us. And we're going to weekly update you. We're also going to do this in Tigrinya. And we want to say thank you ahead of time. Please support us. Internationalsports.org. That's our website. Great news, great sports stories, feature. We're going to be doing a lot of work with that. So please support us. We're also helping to manage sports teams around the world, and Eritreans, young people. We're trying to help them get the right, advise them, get the right colleges, right teams, whatever it is. We have the resources now as a sports entity. So we want to say, please help us out. Internationalsports.org. Once this round of campaign moves, we're done, because we're only going to be getting sponsors from bigger companies. So we won't be bothering you that much. But this one time, we want to engage everybody. We want to make you a part of our network, and we want to build something. So we're asking for some of your support and your donations. Thank you with that. For internationalsports.org, I'm Mike Sium. Appreciate all your support.